Oh, hey guys, it's Mick here. Welcome to another edition of Fix My Ford. Man, I'll tell you what, I've always been a Ford lover. It just keeps getting harder and harder though. Put a lot of money into this truck in the past year. So, I had the high pressure oil fittings go out, I had to replace that. Head gasket, so then I did the whole, just had them go through the engine and fix everything. That was a lot of money. So now I'm dealing with yet another known Ford problem. So look. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, a Ford with rust in the fenders. That's a pretty common thing, right? So, now granted, every vehicle manufacturer has their known rust problems. You got Chevys and the rocker panels, and Dodges just rust everywhere because they're junk. So anyway, that's where mine started. This was just a little bitty spot right here, like a year and a half ago, and it's just growing and growing. And if I come over here to the other side, it's, look, I got the little spot, if you can see that, like I had on that side a year and a half ago, so I'm sure it's going to grow. And then the other day I noticed I got a couple more little spots up here. So I went to the auto body shop and talked to them, and they said, well, here's the deal. We're not going to fix it here, because then it'll show up here, and then we'll fix it there, and then it'll show up here, and then we'll fix it there, and it'll show up there. And you're going to get all pissed off at us, and you're still going to have rust in your fenders, because it's a Ford. So they said, you pretty much got two options. You live with it, or you go buy a new truck bed that doesn't have any rust on it. And I'm not buying a new truck bed. So I went with option C. I got me some fender flares, and we're just going to cover it all up. So I'll show you what we got here. Oh, so check it out, guys. I got these G2 pocket style fender flares. I didn't want to fork out the $500 plus for the Bushwhacker fender flares, so I thought I'd try these G2 ones. They were $300 that I found on eBay. So they arrived in this big old box from Fender Flares Direct, and I started putting them together. Here I got some of the other ones put together here, but pretty simple. Come with some fairly reasonable instructions. And the first thing I did was you got to go through and put all the rivets in, which is just a Allen key, basically bolt. Pop the bolt through there with a washer and a nut on the back, tighten them down. That's it. The harder part is putting this rubber on here. It goes around the top edge where it contacts actually contacts your fender. This part will be around the bottom inside lip of the fender. This part will be actually against your body paint. So you got this rubber to put on it, and this stuff you just kind of peel and go, peel it back. And I don't know if I can do it with one hand. I might be able to because I got pretty good at it. But it just kind of slides down on there. Do a little bit of time. Pinch it on. The sticky goes on the inside. Make sure it's good and stuck on there. The first one took me the longest. It's just like, anybody that's a do-it-yourselfer, the first time you do something, it always takes you the longest, and then once you figure it out, it goes pretty quick. So it probably took me as long to do these last three fenders as it did to do the first one. So we're going to finish this up, and then we will hopefully get them on the truck, see what they look like. Yeah. Okay, now that we got all of our stuff put together, we'll kind of do a little test fit here, make sure they fit correctly. And then we're going to have to mark our holes. They're not pre-drilled on the inside. I know all you've seen is black now. Let me scoot back here. But they're not, they don't have any holes where the bolts go. And this is supposed to be a no drill deal where you can put them right. This is my front fender, and I took all the little forward screws out of there. And you're supposed to be able to just use the same screw holes. Now my back fender doesn't have any screw holes, so I guess I'll have to make some. There's some holes, but the supplied hardware doesn't fit those holes. So now we're going to try to get these babies attached. Alright, here we are. All installed. Check it out. Look! Look! There's no more rust on my Ford. It's all gone. The rust, it's gone. Right? Because you can't see it, so it's gone. Anyway, it's still kind of winterish time out, and my plan is to pull these back off when spring gets here, and I'm going to actually kind of do some work to the rust, put some of that rust stop stuff on there and repaint and blah blah blah, just to kind of buy it some extra time. But what I found out putting these on, a couple things. They say that you can use, or you're supposed to use the screws that come with these, and you're supposed to be able to go into the factory holes. Yeah, well, I found it a lot easier with these just to frickin' go ahead and just go where I wanted to go and make new holes, because they send self-tappers. And so the back ones weren't too bad. The back ones are actually pretty easy. You really got to make sure that you're pushing in so that seal is tight, because I found out on the front ones, I'll show you here. See, I got a little bit of a gap there. So I'm actually going to, I think what I'm going to do is kind of waller these holes out under here just a little bit so I can push in further and then tighten it back down. Worst case, I'll have to put a washer. But also on the front ones, on my Ford here, I actually ended up using the screws that I had in there before. I didn't even use our screws because I was getting a better fit, and it was easier using my existing screws. So, and then I got the same thing on the other side. If you look, this one's kind of even a little worse. See, there's a little bit of a gap there. I don't like that. So I'm going to have to tighten them up a little bit, but I ain't doing it tonight. I spent about, I don't know, start to finish, 3 hours to do this. So we'll get a good look at it tomorrow out in the sunlight. And now I'm probably going to have to buy bigger tires or something. Yeah, I'm going to fill them things up. But I had mud flaps on here, so I pulled because you can't, with where these go, I couldn't have the mud flaps on anymore, so I pulled them off. So if anybody wants a set of mud flaps, let me know. I'll give them to you. I don't want them no more. So anyway, there we go. There's the install of the deep pocket fender flares on my F-250. Oh, I forgot to ask. I couldn't make a decision. So I want to get my viewers' advice. What would you do? Look, I almost took them in and got them painted before I put them on. But I thought, because my mirrors are painted, my bumpers are painted, and I was going to take them in, I'm like, well, I need to get those painted. But I was like, man, that might just be like too much red. It might, I don't know. I think I like them like that. I think I like them black. So let me know what you think. What would you do if it was your truck? Would you paint them? Because I can always take them off and get them painted. Would you paint them, or would you leave them unpainted? I think I like them unpainted, because, you know, the rest of my little bit of trim around the mirrors and my step bar there and around my bed and stuff, that's all black. So I think I like the way it cuts up to red as opposed to getting them painted. But let me know what you think.